Welcome ladies and gentlemen, this is Jacek Sputnik here, and today we are talking about G Master 50mm 1.2. Sony G Master 50mm 1.2, one of the best 50mm lenses on planet Earth. However, we will take a closer look at this lens, specifically if it does have some optical flaws or not, or it's ideal. But let's start first with build quality. So build quality is, as you would expect, pretty much perfect. It's very good. It's really good. The things that I want to mention here is that you have autofocus, manual focus switch. You have two programmable buttons on here outside on this middle ring, let's call it, and then you have this thing which is click switch, click on and click off, which is responsible for soft. You see, it turns off click when it comes to f-stop, and then when you turn it on, the f-stop makes click. So this is photography mode and video mode, and this is highly appreciated by photographers and by videographers. Then you have automatic mode, so that f-stop is controlled by your camera. And this is pretty much it when it comes to build quality. It's weather sealed, and what I noticed is that this lens is relatively small and lightweight when it comes to F1.2 50mm autofocus lens. So this is great. I really don't like too much like heavy, bulky, big lenses, but this one, the weight is respectable, but it's really not too heavy, and it's really, as you can see, not too big as some of Sigma lenses, for example, specifically for Sony system, where you have this built-in converter that is kind of welded into the lens. So it's a great alternative when it comes to Sigma 50mm lenses. However, of course, it's way more expensive, but that's 50mm G Master 1.2, so that's what you would expect. So let's go to the most important part, which is image quality. And when it comes to image quality, I have some shots here. For example, some street photography samples. So basically what I did, I didn't want to produce super nice studio pictures. What you see is raw files straight from A7 Mark IV. And this is where this lens shines when it comes to resolution, when it comes to sharpness. This is like amazing combo. But those are mainly like street shots or like photo walk shots, so that you can really see how that thing performs in real life. So this is my friend Martyna. This is my friend's wife, and look at the sharpness here. It's incredible, and focus was spot on, but this is A7 Mark IV, of course, so it's spot on. Colors are phenomenal, and of course at 1.2 you can see a little bit of vignetting here that can be easily removed by using profile corrections. Then when it comes to some street shots, look here, like you can read everything. Camera Municipal, museum, everything, every single thing is super sharp and visible. However, this is f9, so I just wanted to illustrate how these things perform as more of a travel lens, and it's perfect. Tracking, face tracking, eye tracking, perfect. And this is where it gets interesting. This is against the light, shooting like with sun hitting like the lens directly. You can see that despite the fact that sun is hitting directly my head directly, and there's some flare, there's no visual mess here. In many lenses it would be like flares would be everywhere, and the contrast would drop dramatically. But here you have only this place, burnout place here. When it touches my head, you have almost no chromatic aberration, and it still kept very good picture quality. Contrast didn't drop almost at all. Of course it dropped a little bit, but this is natural, but it's perfectly controlled. Sharpness is still amazing. Look here, almost no chromatic aberration. Look at my eye here. It's perfect. So when it comes to working against the light, it's amazing. Now, little technical test. So I'm taking photos of a pattern here. This is an old window. So let's take a look at sharpness. Profile correction is off in the middle of the frame. Every, you know, in every dent, every crack in the paint, in this old paint in Portugal is absolutely visible. But let's take a look at the corners. So in the corner, you can expect that the sharpness will drop a little bit. So it dropped a little bit, as you would expect, but this is f1.2 and the sharpness dropped. At f1.4 in the middle, it's perfect. Obviously in the corner, it is, yeah, maybe slightly better, but it was very good. At 1.8, it starts to be pretty much perfect. Look at the sharpness here at 2.8. It's like perfect. There's really nothing, absolutely nothing to be picky about. And at f5.6, it is just amazing. And look at the center of the frame, 5.6. It's like you can see absolutely every particle of dust on this old window, every crack, every dent, everything. It's visible. So once again, an amazing results when it comes to sharpness. And the only thing I would be kind of picky about, but it's nothing major, absolutely nothing major, but look what happens when you use profile corrections. Of course, like vignetting disappears, which is vignetting at 1.2 is kind of obvious, so you could expect that to happen, right? Vignetting disappears, so this is perfect, but you can see that this lens produces a little bit, when it comes to geometry, it produces a little bit of pincushion effect, like pillow effect, you know? So that's a little thing, like I would say it's negligible. However, thinking of buying such an expensive lens, I just want you guys to know that there is a little bit of distortion here, not much by any means, but a little bit. Okay, let's take a look at some, you know, like image poetry, or, you know, like what's the look of this lens, right? So when it comes to landscape photography, it is a great lens to, you know, create moody shots. This is raw, straight from the camera, and look at the picture. It's already like moody and beautiful. Again, some testing against harsh light, and look at the sharpness, look at the amount of chromatic aberration. Chromatic aberration is pretty much non-existent here. Sharpness is absolutely phenomenal. It's just pretty much perfect. Look of the blurriness in you know, when the blurriness is close to the camera, you can see here. It's pretty beautiful. It's like soft. It looks like there's some magic in these pictures and in this picture, and it's just great. Okay, now let's test some bokeh. Like let's stop this poetry. Let's look at the bokeh. So in the middle of the frame, bokeh is beautiful. Maybe let's close it up a little bit. You can see that the sharpness is amazing. Bokeh looks very nice. The only thing I'm disappointed, not very much, but a little bit disappointed with, is the bokeh look of the bokeh in the you know, like on the side of the frame. It's a little bit more like egg shape, which I would expect to be slightly better when it comes to you know, that expensive lens, but it's nothing major. Again, it's just a little observation here. Let me show you more of the night pictures, how good this thing performs in the night. However, having said that, the bokeh in the corner or on the side of the frame is pretty, like, remains the same whatever shot you will take. Like, look at this iPhone shot here, shot of an iPhone, not from an iPhone, but of an iPhone, and you can see in the middle it's just beautiful. On the side you have this egg or leaf shape, whatever you call it. I mean, it's a matter of taste, right? Now, let's take a look at some night portraits, night shots here. It's like, look at that, it's raw, straight out of the camera. It's even better than JPEG, and look, it's like super sharp. The focus is just right there. The other example here is when I'm shooting against the, you know, harsh light in the night. So usually here in the middle, when you see the slide Coreto, pizza and bistro in Portuguese, you would have a lot of chromatic aberration, a lot of you know, flaring, and you know, all the, you know, optical flaws of the image would be visible here. But here you have pretty much perfect picture out of the camera. So to sum up, for photographers, this thing is really amazing. And you know, like this pincushion, okay, it's there. There's a little bit of you know, vignetting, however, nothing major, as I said before. So you can easily grab it as one of the best 50mm lens on planet Earth, period. Now let's talk about video quality. It's a great tool for videographers. The image it produces is just pure magic out of the camera, and you don't have to be a brilliant videographer to create some magic B-roll, magic looking B-roll. Take a look at this, you know, like grass by the sunset. It's amazingly sharp. However, you want to listen not only about the poetry of the image, but about the technical you know, aspects of it. So when it comes to you know, eye tracking and face tracking, it does cooperate with A7 Mark IV beautifully. You can see a shot of my friend Christoph here, and you know, it keeps tracking his eye, it keeps tracking his face. Of course, it's mainly dependent on camera, that's obvious. However, the cooperation between, you know, A7 Mark IV and this 50mm lens is just wonderful. So having said that, let's talk about focus breathing. You can see the sample for yourself. It does not exist at all. I don't see any focus breathing here. So, you know, the bokeh in the background remains, you know, super stable. There's no like, no growing and shrinking lights in the background. It is very accurate. So basically for videographers, this tool is just wonderful. No focus breathing, fantastic, you know, cooperation with autofocus of the camera. Beautiful image straight out of the camera, which is, you know, like super sharp, and at the same time it does have this, you know, poetry in it. You can take a look at some night shots here, like of Martina, my friend, or you know, just basically empty cafe, or you know, like basically Praia de Faro, just getting empty, preparing to end the day, and it looks like some magic straight out of the lens. So I couldn't recommend it more to any videographer that is looking for the ultimate 50mm lens. This tool for videographers is absolutely phenomenal. So to sum up, some of the big features here: not too big, not too heavy. I think like really beautifully made lens that is super sharp. The only downsides is a little bit of vignetting at 1.2, but this is negligible, and a little bit of pincushion. However, I wouldn't say this is any kind of a deal breaker. You know, this click switch on and off, which G Masters are known for, is just a wonderful thing. So it's designed to work with photographers and videographers. You know, just to sum up, there is really a few competitors out there. Really, like you could compare it to Sigma 1.4 art lens, which is a great lens, but it's slightly bigger and it's slightly heavier, and it's only 1.4. It's a great lens. I'm not saying, like, you can easily grab it, and I know a lot of photographers and videographers that work with those Sigma lenses, and they are just wonderful. However, if you want the ultimate tool, basically grab one of these and you will not regret for sure. This lens is almost, but not yet, but almost perfect. Okay, this is Jacek Sputnik, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you enjoyed my review of this 50mm 1.2 G Master lens. Please leave comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, ask if I forgot to mention something important, or you have more questions regarding this lens, or you would like to suggest what videos would you like to see on that channel in the future. And of course, like always, I see you in the next one.